If you have a petrol scooter the same as this, or similar to this, with a centrifugal clutch, you need to check this video out. This is how you're going to fix your own centrifugal clutch. It's a piece of cake. Check it out. So I'll tell you a story. I got this scooter. It's a Kymco espresso bug. It's a great little scooter. It was red and I painted it green. I got this off a guy and he had no idea what was wrong with it. So it turns out it's just the clutch is glazed. That's all. It's a simple deglazing the clutch. That's all it is. So I bought it for $600, registered, ready to roll. So I'm going to pull the clutch apart and I'm going to show you how to fix a glazed clutch on one of these scooters with a centrifugal clutch. Every time I take off, it just jerks and jumps and it really sort of just grabs, you know. It's really annoying and it's hard to control. So I've read up on it and it is the clutch. So we're going to get into it and whip off this cover, which is only a dust cover. That is actually a dust cover. That whole section is just a dust cover. Your clutch is in here and the other side of the clutch is there. The belt is running through here that drives in gears into the back wheel. So here we go. We have to take that off, the Kickstarter, and all these bolts in here. We've just got to whip those off. You'll see there's a few underneath there as well. You can leave this pipe on, leave that pipe on. The clutch belt cover will just hang here while we get the clutch off and deglaze it. So essentially the clutch fully glazed and it's just grabbing, it's biting instead of spinning and just sliding on the other section of the clutch. So we're going to sort that out. I've already cracked these, what are they, 8mm I think they are. Yep, 8mm. Oh, that one I haven't. So there's about 10 of these that go around this housing, this dust cover. So you need to get all of those off. I've already cracked these ones so that we don't have to waste all day watching me undo bolts. That's that. Now that cover is loose. So we need to get the Kickstarter off, which is a 10mm socket, which I've already loosened. So you have to take this bolt, give you a bit of a better look at it, you have to take this bolt all the way out to get the Kickstarter off. There we go, because that bolt sits in that groove right there. So you need to take that bolt all the way out. As I said, you can leave that hose on the front. That should wiggle off nicely. Oops. There's always one that you miss, isn't there? I thought that was perfect. I thought, here we go, that was easy. There's always one you miss. So there you go. So that's that. Just keep your gasket in place. Make sure that's in the right way, and that should sit on there. Like I said, it's only a dust cover, so no stress. This is your clutch, so this is your drive section. These are spring loaded, so as they, I'll give you a better look in there. So these are spring loaded, these two sections. So as the motor's spinning this, it grabs the belt. You can see in there it tightens on these edges. So that section grabs onto the belt, and then also here you can see that spring loaded there. If I pull that back, the belt grabs onto there and spins this. See, that's different to that. That's free from there. So as that's spinning, it grabs onto this. This starts spinning, and this is your clutch here. And there's 3 shoes inside this clutch that as it's spinning, it grabs that like a flywheel and starts spinning the back wheel. As you can see, the back wheel starts turning. So that's how your clutch works. So you're going to need a rattle gun like that to get that nut off there. So it's a normal thread, it's not left-hand thread or anything silly like that. So I'm going to get some air into this gun, we're going to hit it and pull that off. Okay, the compressor has just stopped. So you're going to need your rattle gun, you need to have that in reverse, like I said. Get on there, just stick your foot on the back wheel. And that's it. That's how you're going to get the nut off. There's also a washer. And then you're just going to wiggle that clutch off, and that's it. Come on in and check it out. So that is your clutch. Right there. So what you're looking for, what you need to do, see these pads, see they've got glaze, they're actually going to be glazed. I've actually given them a rub a minute ago, so you just need to get that glaze off. That's all you need to do, is get them back to that. So take the glaze off these pads, so you can see they're just glazed there. So you just need to get that glaze off. Just rub the glaze off with a bit of wet and dry, sandpaper that is. There's not much left on these pads. It's done about 13,000 k's this scooter, and you need to do that as well on your clutch housing there. So you just need to rough that up a bit. There goes the compressor again. Just really rough that up, you know. So get all that glaze off. Essentially it's glaze, that's all it is. That's why it's jumping and carrying on when you take off. So whack it back on. Get your nuts started before you use the rattle gun. Get forward. Just give it a bit of that. Put it all back together and see how she goes. Just going to whack it all back together. Make sure your gasket's in position. So don't be all stressed about that it says oil on here. They actually got locating lugs here, so you can't get it wrong. It says oil right there. I'll show you. See there, it says oil, 0.18 of a litre, right on the end of the thing there. So don't stress about that, because when I first looked at all this, I thought, oh no, this thing's full of oil, so I'm going to have to take all the oil out of it first and then work it out. And I thought, well, it can't be oil because it's all a dry setup. It's all a dry clutch. So, and there's just dust covers here, like little dust grommets, so that no dust gets in there to wreck the whole shooting match. So I just put a couple in. I try and get this one up here that's got the little lug on it. Get him done. That holds some piping up there, so you want to just get that pushed back into where it needs to be, so that it doesn't rattle around. That's all good. Just knit them two up. Then you can just go around at your leisure and put the rest of them in. Get them all started and then go around with your ratchet. I'm sure you're not going to be excited about me doing that for the next 10 minutes. There we are. They're all done up. That was easy. I was fast, wasn't it? So now you need to put the Kickstarter back on. So those pipes just sit in there. And then we need to whack this Kickstarter back on. So I'll just put a mark where the actual top of the Kickstarter was. So there we go, straight back on. And that bolt will locate in that groove. And you can get your little extension ratchet. Sorry, you probably can't see what I'm doing there, that's right. So you're just doing up that 10mm bolt, just nip it up, and it'll grab onto that shaft if you ever need to use your Kickstarter. And that is as simple as it is to deglaze your clutch on one of these petrol scooters. Doesn't matter what it is, a Vespa, a Kymco, whatever brand you've got with that set. That's a centrifugal clutch. If you've got a centrifugal clutch, it'll be the same setup as that, and you just need to deglaze those clutch pads essentially, and the actual clutch housing on the outside, and this will be smooth as silk now. But before takeoff it was jerky and carrying on, the clutch wanted to grab all the time. Even at a fast idle, I was sitting at the lights in a fast idle and the thing was just wanting to jump forward, and it's really jerky and horrible. So there you go, done. So this scooter was jerking all over the place on takeoff. So you're sitting on your handlebars, so you just turn them with me. You just need to turn around, get around the shed. Let's check it out and see if we've done the job. Look at that, purrs like a kitten, this thing. Oh, smooth as silk. Smooth as silk, look at that. Oh, that'd be jerking its head off by now. That'd be just jumping everywhere. Look at that. Beautiful. That is great. You give it the berries, we'll see how we go. Whoops. Sorry about that. He just took off on me. Oh. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So good. So much better. That is perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's fixed it. It's like brand new. So that's all it took. Just deglaze those pads and the clutch housing itself. Just get a bit of wet and dry sandpaper onto it. Just scuff it up a little bit. Take the glaze off those pads. Perfect. Probably took 15 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please subscribe to Daz's Random Stuff. There'll be lots of just random stuff. So thanks heaps. See you later.